And there we go. Party people in the place to be. What's good? Y'all know who it is on the screen. It's the big boss man, aka Woodshed 1914, the scholar, and I am the moderator, your main man, the number one chief rocker in Knicks universe, Uncle Freezie. Welcome to the Big Boss Man Roundtable, where we discuss these difficult topics that Knicks fans generally don't like to discuss. Mr. Woodshed, sir, how are you this evening?
I'm blessed and highly favored, brother. How are you?
And highly favored. And highly favored. Yes, sir.
Highly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man. So, behind the scenes for a few moments, we were talking about the hot topic of Frank Ntilikina. Are you talking about Frank? Are you talking about Frank? Were we talking about Frank Ntilikina? Or were we speaking about Quentin Grimes? Either one, right?
Man, listen, I must hold a capital Arial black bold printed L on Quentin Grimes, bro. Like, I was so wrong about this dude. I know people love it. I don't do the age thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't do, oh man, he's only 22. Oh, he's only 20. Like, I don't do that. Like,
right.
We talked backstage and he makes Frank Ntilikina look like Oscar Robertson.
Right.
Like
prime Oscar Robertson.
Prime Oscar. Let me. That's disrespectful. Not Oscar Robertson, but the Big O. Let me get a man his full credit.
Right.
When we talked at the top of the season, the conversation was we like to see him shoot when he's open,
right?
And when he has a hot streak and dudes are running cold, which Randall was cold the first 8-9 games.
And Brunson was cold.
Brunson was cold. Brunson was cold 5 of like the first 7 games. Right. Like the only person that was shooting worth anything was RJ and Quickly. So it was plenty of opportunity. Dante was cold. Hart was cold. And he was having some decent stretches in some of these games. And like, here we are. His teammates still having to beg him to shoot.
Right.
Like, they're having to beg you to shoot the ball. Like, I was looking at the last game and Randall kicked it until he was open. He didn't shoot. He kicked it back to Randall with 3 seconds on the shot clock. And they going to the side. Randall like, this dude, like, shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball. So like, here we are, man. It's like Frank Ntilikina Part 2. A first round draft pick that we know has some tools to do some great things on the floor. No consistency.
Right.
No aggression. And just an unwillingness to let the ball go. And at this point, if this is who he's gonna be, it's insanity to keep him starting.
Right.
It's insanity to keep him starting. Yeah. Like is the defense worth it if I'm gonna get 28 minutes of game time and he's gonna give me 4 shot attempts, 1 make, and you know what the most telling stat is?
What's that?
A starting shooting guard in the NBA that's playing a legit. I haven't looked at his minutes. I'm guessing he plays
at least 20. At least 20 though.
It's definitely at least 20.
Right.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's somewhere between 24 and 27 minutes. Right.
Right.
The dude has shot 1 free throw in the season.
Well, 3 now because he shot.
Okay,
2
he got a couple last night. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Right. So a starting shooting guard has shot 3 free throws in 17 games.
Right.
How?
I don't know.
I mean, help me understand how a dude that's playing regularly, like starting, and not one of those fake starts like an Evan Fournier about to get out of the rotation start where you start, you play the first 3 minutes, you miss the next 18 minutes, you play 3 more, you miss the next 10, you play 3 more, and then you miss the final 12 minutes. Not that. Like, you legitimately started playing 20 to 30 minutes a game. Like,
right.
And you shot 3 free throws?
3 free throws all year.
All year?
Yeah.
How? You a shooting guard.
Would. Here's the thing, though. When we drafted him, I told y'all he was a ham sandwich, bro. People argue down.
No. He potted meat, bro. He potted meat, man.
So I was wrong anyway. So he not even a ham sandwich.
He was when he got drafted, but he potted meat now.
So he digressed. He digressed. Or He regressed. I'm sorry.
I give him South Meat right now. I give him South Meat. I say
For people that from that's not from the South, man, that South Meat would be. But you got to know, you got to be from down. You can't be Mid Atlantic South, right? You can't be from Maryland, Virginia. Talk about South Meat. You got to be from down south.
South.
Yeah, like you can't be from Kentucky, or Tennessee. That's South, but that ain't down south. You know what I'm saying?
And not even the saltine brand crackers. You remember them zesters in that red box?
Yeah, I remember zesters. You buy him at the old store, the old country store. They got dust on top of the box because they've been up there so long.
Man.
You walk right, you grab about 2 boxes of them because your uncle like to take his teeth out and eat them without nothing on them, and then go right back there and get you some Pepsis.
You remember on Friday when Smokey said Kool-Aid no sugar, ham no burger. Like that's it, man. And it's so disappointing because I looked and I said, man, like this dude can really he could be an impact player for the Knicks. And as far as I know, ain't no injuries.
No.
It's definitely not his teammates telling him not to shoot. Because every game you got people, whether it's Randall, whether it's Brunson, whether it's RJ, like saying, dude, you were open.
Right.
Don't kick it to me with 2.7 seconds on the shot clock. Shoot the ball.
Right. Like, and then you bring his replacements and they shoot and look good.
Dante shooting 10 threes.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like if Dante is open, you might as well the bigs crash the boards, guards move the other way. Because he's shooting that thing.
Because
he's shooting. And Josh Hart was passive too. But Tibbs like, look, I'm playing you the backup 4 because I need you in that spot to score. I want you to try and be the same role that Randall is when I put you with the 4. Right. Now Hart is playing better. He responded. He's shooting the ball. He's playing better, but it's
he's staying active. Feet are always moving.
Yep. And he's always moving without the ball. Like that last game, Randall hit him for at least 3 or 4 good assists because he was moving without the ball, cutting, flashing back to the 3. He was always moving, but like this Grimes thing, man. Like I had a conversation with Chuck, and Chuck said he's the worst starting 2 guard in the league.
Chuck B?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't seen Chuck B in a minute, man. How that brother
I'm like, nah, he doing good. Yeah. I'm like, nah, Chuck, he ain't the worst in the league, man. Like, but statistically, he is the worst starting shooting guard in the league.
He the worst. He's not an NBA player. I think DeQuan Jeffries is better than him right now.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Charlie Brown right now is better than Quentin Ntilikina.
Oh. Yeah. And I know he put the work in because he had worked with JJ, he worked with Penny, like he went back to Houston, he worked with Coach Sampson a little bit. Like, dude, if you working with Kelvin Sampson, Penny Hardaway, and JJ Redick, I mean,
in the same offseason?
I mean, you can't ask for a better training circuit than that. You got one of the greatest coaches
that means, ever. Right? That means he's not an NBA player.
God, man.
He's not an NBA player, bro. We gotta stop this discussion about Grimes wasting time. Yo, give Deuce McBride those rotation minutes, man, and move on.
I hear a lot of people saying that, and I was the number 1 Grimes defender, but I can't defend him anymore, bro. Like, I can't defend him anymore because he's not even willing to shoot open shots. Like, I can't help you. Like, you gotta shoot open shots. That's what you're there for, to shoot open shots.
Yeah. I mean, are there any better type shots? Like if you're an NBA player, how can a shot be better than a wide open one?
It's not. And I'm not talking about somebody closing out within 10 feet. I'm talking about dude be wide open, bro.
Wide open, bro.
Like wide open and won't shoot the ball.
Defense is not even closing out on him. They know he gonna pass.
They don't close anymore. They don't even close out anymore because they know he's not gonna shoot the ball.
They know he gonna pass it right back up to the top. Yeah. He's not even Matisse Thybulle, bro. Matisse Thybulle is an elite defender that offense is broken, bro. But he ain't even Matisse Thybulle. He's not even Andre Roberson, bro.
Oh man, that's the comp. That's it. Oh God, that's it.
He's
That,
because
that, 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 that's it. Like that's it. Somewhere between Andre Roberson and Thabo Sapolosha. That's it. Like that's the comp. That's what we get.
yeah,
God man.
bro. Yeah, bro.
God man.
I'm saying, bro. I'm saying, and I don't want to turn this into a bash every Knicks player thing type channel because that's not really what we do because we appreciate and celebrate players, but when something is e- e- egregious, we have to point it out as fans, bro. Because sometimes organizations will get that bunker mentality where they tune out all the outside noise, right? You know what I'm saying? In this case here, bro, we have to point out that Grimes is terrible, bro.
This guy was the piece that broke the Donovan Mitchell trade, bro. Like he was the one player that they didn't want to throw into the pot to get that deal done. Like, and then we
Bro,
getting stretches where you average 2 points a game. Like, man, I'm not saying that he's the difference between them winning the championship, but bro, like, come on, dude. Like,
yeah.
you give any one of them hungry players out of any G League roster, any two guard, and I promise you, man, like, man, like,
I don't think he's an NBA player, bro, to be honest with you. You know what I'm
he
saying?
ain't
And if
he
you
ain't playing like one.
and
He ain't
and
playing like one.
I want to turn it to the front office too. I don't want to smoke the front office because for the most part, I think they've done a reasonably fair job, the front office, right? But when you look back at the draft, Obi was a bust for us,
Mm,
right? Obi
mm.
was a bust for us. Quickly is who I love, by the way, bro. Quickly is a top 20 Nick a top 20 favorite Nick of mine, right? I'm not saying in terms of player, I'm not saying he's a great Knicks player, but I'm talking about Quickly is a top 20 all-time favorite Nick of mine to watch, right? And I've watched a lot of Knicks, bro. Ray Williams, Mike Woodson, Bill Cartwright. I mean, I watched a ton of Knicks, bro, right? And Quickly is a top 20 Knicks player to watch because he's fun. He's a fun player to watch.
Yeah,
But when you look at his offensive numbers, bro, they are wildly inconsistent.
yeah.
Right?
That's the issue with them.
Wildly inconsistent. But if you look at Quickly, you look at Deuce McBride, Rokas Jokabitis, Jericho Sims, Obi Toppin, where is the standout draft pick from this front office?
I mean, if we being
It's
transparent,
Quentin Grimes, right? It's Quentin Grimes because he's a starter.
he's the only starter they drafted.
Right. That's my
Like
thing.
and right now, everyone, and I mean everyone, is questioning whether this kid should be starting. Some people are questioning whether he should be situational and whether Deuce McBride should get the minutes. Like to me, and we had a discussion this morning, and they were talking about DeMar DeRozan, and I'm like, look, if you can get DeRozan, get it done.
Yeah.
And I mocked the trade, and the trade it was basically money. It was Evan Fournier, Jericho Sims, and Daquan Jeffries to satisfy the money. And I said, give them the New York 24 first round pick unprotected, and give them both of those 24 seconds. Give them all those picks to get it done. And I got pushed back and said, well, man, anybody that trades a first for 34-year-old DeMar DeRozan is crazy.
Yeah. Are you
And I
crazy?
said,
But are you crazy though?
I said, let me ask you this: you trust the front office, right? Yeah, they've done a great job.
Okay.
So, who's a better player, DeMar DeRozan or Josh Hart? Because if I remember correctly, this front office that you said is doing a great job traded an unprotected first and Cam Reddish for Josh Hart.
Right.
So, Josh Hart on an expiring contract is worth a first round pick.
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan, who by the
On an
way,
expiring contract should be
over the
worth the
course
same pick, right?
of his career, DeMar DeRozan shoots 48% the fourth quarter.
Okay.
This year, he's shooting 51% in the fourth quarter. And you replacing Quentin Grimes with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if they're asking for one of our primary rotation players,
No.
like I think we're gonna have to
If
take
they're
Barrett in
asking
this
for
trade.
quickly, no, I'm not doing.
No, or we will need quickly in this trade. No,
No.
man, I'm gonna say, well, I'll just wait for you to trade him for less than I'm offering you, and I'm hanging up the phone. But if they're trading DeRozan, they're not trading him to try and contend. They're tearing it down.
They're tearing it
They're
down.
tearing it
Yeah.
down. And to me, everybody says, well, and I'm like, we're not going to use those 24 picks.
No.
Nobody that we draft between 20 and 30, and then with those seconds, is going to crack this rotation.
And
Like
in a mediocre
a
draft,
mediocre draft where
right?
you got about four true lottery talents,
And
and
everybody else is Joe Smith.
everybody else is just regular degular. So
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, forget them picks. If you give me DeMar DeRozan on this team right now and place the Quentin Grimes as that starting two, or even at the three,
Yeah, at the 3, definitely.
I don't know who's gonna beat us in the 7-game series. I don't
Okay.
because you got Brunson who's clutch, and then now you got DeMar who's clutch. So you got two dudes that when they
Right.
put up a shot in the fourth quarter, it's about a 50% chance it's going in.
Yeah. 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 And you know what else too though? The most underrated thing I think about, and see, I'm on the fence with DeMar DeRozan, right? And not because I don't feel like what you're saying is reasonable, because you're absolutely reasonable. And when the more I hear arguments on both sides, ironically, the closer I get to the middle, like in a tug of war. But what I'm saying, bro, is in close games, DeMar DeRozan can get to the free throw line, right? In close games, DeMar DeRozan can get his shot off, can make shots, right? And in games where in series where you're facing Giannis and Dame Lillard, or Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Porzingis, and Drew Holiday, or Tyrese Maxey, Zach LaVine, and Joel Embiid, because I think the Sixers are ultimately going to trade for Zach LaVine, right?
Yeah,
And
that's a precursor. You can see that coming because
yeah,
they're one of the teams that would give up
yeah,
pieces of substance to
yeah,
Chicago.
yeah, because
Yeah,
they're one piece away from being
yeah.
NBA champs in their mind, because they have a young blossoming star in Maxey, and they have a league
Mm-hmm.
MVP in Embiid, and all they need is a
It's that one
former
other
number
piece.
one option to settle into that third option role with them, to maximize his third option potential, right? So yeah, man. I don't know, bro. I'm absolutely in the middle, right? With you. I get it. I get it. Right. My only thing is the regular season, right? The regular season. How good are we in the regular season? Where what can DeMar DeRozan do for us from game 30 to game 82? That's where can we ascend to a 2 seed, or are we going to be a 7 seed because we have to go through orientation and you know what I'm saying, resetting the chemistry and all of that stuff. That's where I'm unsettled at. Like, with Julius Randle, what is Julius Randle going to be doing when DeMar DeRozan is cooking in the mid range? You feel me? That's where
Yeah,
I'm
that's
at
his,
with it.
that's his space. I think that I don't think that Randall would be the issue with that. I think the one player that may kind of be an issue there is Mitch, um,
Right.
because Mitch be in that lane, bro. Like he
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 occupied it.
he, he occupies the lane, and when he leaves the lane, his man does not leave it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it would take some time, but I will tell you this: with Brunson shooting the three the way that he is, he ain't gotta be in the mid range. Like Brunson was a mid range assassin like for years, and now all of a sudden the dude is and it's to me it looks sustainable because it's his second year in a row that he's been one of the best 3-point shooters, and I'm saying overall, whether it's off the dribble, whether it's off the catch, whether it's just catch and shoot, like he is legitimately knocking them down. And you would expect his numbers to fall back down, but if you look at his 3-point shot the last 3 or 4 years, the numbers climbing.
Right.
So I think that they can make it work. I think the player that would have to change his game the most would probably be RJ.
RJ, yeah.
Because some nights when if we got DeRozan, right? On those nights where RJ starts 2 for 7 shooting, 2 for 8 shooting, he would have to be a corner merchant that night. Like he would have to be a corner merchant. So his game would probably change the most because he started the season high, but now it's like I compare him to Randall to a degree. Like the peaks are way up here, but his valleys are like
way down in the valley. Yeah.
And it's not just RJ, it's both of them. When Randall is good, it's great. When RJ's doing good, he's great. But when they're bad,
can I offer a counter to that?
Sure.
I think when Randall in that situation where DeRozan is here, I think RJ and DeRozan together is unstoppable, bro.
It'll be a problem.
And the reason why I say that is because Tibbs ran an offense early in the season with Grimes and RJ, where they would stack in the corner at the beginning of a play, and one would screen for the other, and one would float to the corner, and the other would be headed to the rim with a full head of steam, drawing fouls. You remember early in the season when RJ Barrett stayed at the free throw line?
Yeah.
Can you imagine RJ and DeRozan doing that on a nightly basis? Or if we can get cute with it, stack Mitchell Robinson in the corner with DeRozan and have Mitch screen for DeRozan and then have Mitch not be a 3-point shooter. Relax, everybody. We don't want Mitch acting like he's shooting threes, right? But Mitch rolling to the rim baseline to catch lobs from DeRozan, right? Attacking the basket, Mitch attacking Mitch being a lob threat from a different angle. Here's the thing. You've never seen Mitch attack the rim as a lob threat from a different angle. It's always straight on at the rim.
The middle.
Yep. Always straight on at the rim, right?
Yep.
Can you imagine us opening Pandora's box where Mitch can be a threat, a lob threat from different angles? Like how the Clippers ran that. People don't understand. The Clippers ran that same thing with Chris Paul, but they had JJ Redick and Paul Pierce, and they would stack Blake Griffin and Paul Pierce in a corner, and Paul Pierce would screen and turn the corner, and you had to respect Paul Pierce's shooting, but Blake Griffin would just jump. Blake Griffin would just jump out of the ceiling, bro, and catch lobs, catch bodies. Now, for those that don't remember, Mitchell Robinson can jump. Mitch can jump, man. Mitch ain't like that dude. Mitch ain't the normal center with like a 28-inch vertical. Mitch can jump, right? If y'all remember, Mitch is the one that caught the lob on Trae Young. Y'all remember Mitch caught the lob on Trae Young? We thought Randall was throwing the ball away. And we thought Randall was throwing the ball. It was a terrible pass by Randall. But Mitch caught it and threw that thing down 2 hands on top of Trae Young, bro. And you was like, this dude is an athlete. I think we forget Mitch is an athlete sometimes, bro.
Yeah, I mean that side pick and roll is hard to defend, bro. Like when somebody run the pick and roll against the baseline, it is really, really hard to defend, man, because that's where you get a lot of blocking fouls because there's nowhere for you to go. But if you would go back to the Minnesota game, like Rudy Gobert, he doesn't have a lot of moves, but his teams utilize him. Like when he sets a good screen, it's about a 50-50 chance he's actually going to receive the pass. Like when Mitch sets a good screen, it's probably about a 10% chance he's going.
Yeah, but Gobert's got great hands though.
He
Gobert can
does.
catch traffic, right? I don't know if Mitch can catch in traffic, bro.
But see, the thing about Mitch, you just brought up the point of it all. He plays above the rim. It ain't gotta be no traffic. Who can
Right.
who jumping 12 feet in the air?
Nobody, except
Nobody
Mitch.
gonna do it. But they don't.
But Wood, that's the point that I'm making though. The point that I'm making is if a defense has to honor Mitch being a vertical threat from the boxes, guess what that means for the middle of the paint? It's open.
Open. Yeah.
That was the
But
point that I'm getting. That's the point that I'm getting at. Now you got DeMar DeRozan and RJ Barrett drop. You feel me? It's just
yeah.
basketball. It's just basketball. It's just basketball, right? You don't. It's like everything in life. You don't always have to do things one way or a standard way. There's more than one way to accomplish everything. More than one way to attack certain things. If we're just thinking basketball, like on the floor, okay. If we're just thinking sports in general, your offense doesn't have to be 2 tight ends and 1 running back. Your offense
Right.
doesn't have to be 3 wide receivers. Your offense doesn't have to be in the wishbone, right? Your offense doesn't have to be 4 wide receivers. You can be good at offense in multiple formations. And that's what I'm saying about RJ and DeRozan. If DeRozan still has some of that athleticism left, I think he might be a perfect fit with him and RJ on the floor. My consternation is what happens when those two on the floor with Julius Randle and Mitch.
I think they would make it work. I think a lot of people have questions about DeRozan's three-point shooting.
Can Randle be a point forward?
If he got shot makers around him, absolutely. And he just weaponized Josh Hart the other day. Absolutely. I think people's biggest question with DeMar is the 3-point shooting, but I said in the past he's a weird player because if you look at his shooting, right, just over the course of his career, and I went and looked at some of this stuff, from 16 feet to the 3-point line, shoots 45%.
Right.
So dude can be 2 feet inside of the line and knock it down, but he still playing, and he's shooting 36 from 3 this year, which is respectable. It's not like shooting 36, you can't just leave them open.
That's with zero spacing too, by the way.
Right.
Chicago offense is terrible. If he came here, he'll probably shoot 40.
It's trash. Yeah. It's but I wanted DeRozan in that summer of 20 when they went out and signed Bullock and Burks, and I'm like, and then we got Fournier, and I'm like, and they still had a chance to get him, and then they signed Fournier, and I'm like, bro, like, I don't know what they're doing. Scott Perry had it. He had DeMar's ear. He was coming. And then Wilmot West and Leon was like, nah, we're going to pass. And if you see now when they interview Scott Perry, what is he saying?
The same thing.
We need a wing that can create his own shot and take the pressure off.
Size matters. Matters. That's what you've been saying.
They can push RJ down to the 2. They can create his own shot and create for his teammates. Can DeMar DeRozan create his own shot? Yes. Can he create for teammates? Yes. Is he willing to create for teammates? Yes. Is he efficient? Yes. Like, I mean, like, every time Perry speaks, man, he dropped a gem. And he says saying the same thing. This is what the team is missing.
Bro, man, every time you and I rock, man, 30 minutes fly by so fast. It's like right at 30 minutes already, bro. And I'll be saying, because earlier today, I'm like, man, I need to talk to Wood, man, to see if we can carve out some time, man, where we can just rock and rock and rock. But 30 minutes, man, it is what it is. Let me you got 2 or 3 more minutes?
I do.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a loaded question that's impossible to answer in 2 or 3 minutes. Right? So
I would expect no less.
so first of all, I'm confused how Georgia lost to Alabama, right? I'm not even gonna get into that, man, because that's another 2-hour show, right? Make me think college football is rigged so they can get people in the college football playoff. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, if outside of DeMar DeRozan, is there a player off the radar that you feel like the Knicks could go get and add and not say pay a penalty for shopping? Like keep the chemistry in place, add a player, and that player kind of gets us over the top by fixing up around the fringes.
Mhm.
Like instead of buying a house, you just paint your house. Is there that type of move out there?
Um, the name I would give you, and you're talking about somebody where we would have to give up some, but not give up everything, right?
Right. Right.
The first name I would mention would be Denny Avdija
Me too.
from Washington.
Me too. Yep.
I think Denny would be a perfect fit.
Yep.
But
Yep.
his team slot right here at the three, capable defender. You can't leave him open.
Right.
He can attack closeouts. He can create a little bit. Still
Right.
young. Ain't on a mega
And
deal
and,
yet.
and
So
he's on a bad team because playoff teams not giving up wing players.
he's on a horrible team.
Right.
I would offer them. I would start by giving them Nate pick back. I would give them New York. That's what I'm saying. Like these 2024 picks, I would call Washington today. Hey, I got Quentin Grimes. I got the 24 ones. You want these 2-2s? You can have them. Send us Denny because
I
Denny
would
can
just get.
slide
I,
into
I
that.
would just give him. I would just offer them Grimes. I would like Grimes for
Yeah,
Denny, and they would do it because they are starving for
yeah,
backcourt help.
defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Denny's a name. That's a name for a wing. That can help.
You like
Like
Jonathan Isaac?
I was going to come to him next. I was going to come to him
Okay.
next. I was going to say Jonathan Isaac,
But that
or
team
if
is that team is good though.
they're not going to trade him because they have a role that he's in and he's comfortable in that role. The player that they have over there that you probably could get, who's not really a wing, but he can help do some of the things that we need, is Markel Fultz. They have no need for him. Like
Right.
absolutely. Now that Anthony Black is stepping up playing, they have literally no need for him.
Right.
That's another player that can help, in that 2-3 spot that can help create for himself, teammates.
Right.
Um, Chicago, man, like they got some pieces. Patrick Williams is another name
Torrey
that
Craig. Torrey
Torrey
Craig, a
Craig
six
is
wing
another
player.
like so and Dorian Finney-Smith. It's some dudes out there, man, that can help this team. I'm pretty sure if you call Atlanta right now, say we'll give you Quentin Grimes and the 24 first, they see you DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
So DeAndre Hunter would be perfect on this team.
Yeah.
Perfect. OG Anunoby is off limits because we saw in the Raptors. So
Yeah. But
I don't.
he looked terrible last night against us too,
Yeah,
by the way.
he looked offensively inept.
Yeah.
So that's more of a summer deal. Another player you can probably get, probably on the cheap, is Karis LeVert. Would be perfect for this team.
Right.
Um,
Right.
like it's plenty wings out there, man, that I feel like can step in right away, help this team. My
Okay.
first choice, I would call Watson. I'd try to get Denny though. Young
I
player,
think Denny is the fix, bro.
can defend, can shoot, can pass,
He can
got
defend
upside.
multiple positions too,
Yeah,
and ball
and
handle a little
can
bit,
handle the
bro.
ball. And his
Eh,
ceiling is through the roof, man. They
Yep.
got Corey Kispert, so they got somebody that can slot
They
right
have
in and
Bilal
take his place.
Koulibaly that they just drafted. So
Yeah, they don't need
yeah.
him. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be the route that I take, man. That I would call Washington and I would offer them Quentin Grimes. Oh, we had no interest in Grimes. Okay, what if I throw in the 24 first, unprotected?
Give I'll give them their pick back. Just like,
Or
hey
you
man,
want to give your pick back? Like,
just say, hey, take y'all pick back.
but that's the type of player that we need, man. Like that 6'8", 6'9" wing that can create,
Long
can shoot,
arms, tough
can
guy,
defend.
care about winning.
Yeah,
You remember
yeah,
when we beat Washington, right? When we beat Washington, that man, while everybody else was like trying to do jersey swaps and all that stuff, that man was legit out there like a brat,
yeah,
mad. At the end of the
yeah,
game, he out there
yeah,
mad. He frustrated with losing.
yeah. And I've adopted some of that as a coach too. Like you don't want players that just love to win. You want players that hate to lose.
Right.
And the fact that the Washington fans were chanting for the Knicks, it broke them, man. It
Yeah.
broke them. So there are so
Oh
many
yeah, you
players
remember
out
the
there,
comments
man.
after the game?
Yeah,
The
it broke him.
comments
He
after
was
the game.
like, he
Yeah,
said,
he
"This
was.
is." He want out of that, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he wants out of that. But it's plenty of players out there, bro. That are especially when you talking about wing players. You
Yeah.
know, the Pelicans got two or three.
Man, did you see Trey Murphy dunk the other night?
Trey Murphy, and they got Herb Jones.
And
Like
now they have Najee Marshall,
Marshall's
Brandon
over there.
Ingram.
Like they got
Yeah.
three. They got 3 or 4 wings, and I'm pretty sure not all of them playing the minutes they want to play. So
Nah.
I mean that's it. So it's not just DeRozan. But I don't think that this front office is going to. I don't think they're gonna risk anything, man. Like if they make a trade, bro, it'll be like for Terrence Ross or something like that. I don't see them making a trade that will move like Josh Hart trade. That surprised me. But
That's
then
surprising.
again, that was an overpay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody else traded an unprotected pick at the deadline. Nobody.
Yeah.
And we saw talented players move. So
Right.
I mean, like, what's the kid's name? His name slips me.
Which one?
Played for A&M. Played for the Lakers. Went to the Bulls. What's his name, man? The one Brunson made fall. I can't believe it because I watched him at Texas A&M,
Caruso?
man. Caruso's another player that can
Okay.
help. Um, I wasn't high on it at first, but eventually he gonna fall out of favor.
Right.
Grayson Allen with Phoenix, he can help.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Noir, he can help. Like
Yeah.
it's Jeremy Grant. Now you got to give up something to get Jeremy Grant. He can help.
Right.
But
Right.
here's the biggest problem with all this when we talking trades. Once that new CBA kicks into effect, it's gonna be hard, man.
Right.
Because you're not just trying to match dollar for dollar for that season. It's got
Right.
to be throughout the duration. So, I
Right.
mean, that's why if they don't make a move this year, especially if they don't use 48's contract, bro, that's malpractice. Like that's straight up malpractice.
What are you gonna use his contract for though?
To be a sweetener, like because if you're
Okay.
talking about high caliber players that have significant salary, like DeRozan, it's a given that he's gone. Like,
Right.
it's a given. Like anybody that makes over 15 million, you
Right.
got to include Evan to make it work. Like
Right.
it's if that contract just expires and he walks, bro, like
Right.
I mean, it's just a waste because you're not gonna have the cap space to do anything significant in the summer without trading anyway.
Right.
Unless you're
Right.
just gonna be like, okay, man, we don't need quickly. We're gonna let iHeart walk.
Right.
So to me, I think that they're in a position right now. If they win against Milwaukee and some other things happen, 7 days from right now, they could be in the third seed. They really
Yeah.
could. They could be the 3 seed.
Yeah.
And when you get to that level, you want to capitalize on it. You don't want to go from the 3 seed to the 6 seed, to the 3 seed to the 6 seed. You
Yeah.
know, nothing's off limits. So this is a year to capitalize on it, man. They got all these draft picks. Got a new CBA coming up where it's going to be harder to trade for guys making significant money.
Right.
You got Randall and Brunson in within 24 months. They gonna be eligible for 60% of your cap.
Yep. Yep.
Just those two players are gonna
Yep.
be eligible for 60% of your cap. And if Brunson makes All NBA, these next 2 years, guess what? He's Supermax eligible.
He's super
If
max.
Randall makes All NBA again this year, guess what? He's Supermax eligible.
Yep. And he took 2 discounts the first time
He took
he
two
took a
already.
discount for 18 million the first contract, right?
Like,
And then he
and then
extended on a remember
he,
that he gave up $110 million
yeah,
so that we can have room to sign RJ and Brunson,
yep. And
right?
and listen, the dude changed agency because his guy was leaving CAA, and that was part of it. But another part of it is ain't no more discounts.
Ain't no more discounts,
Like
bro.
it's no more discounts. I gave you 2 discounts. Jalen
Yeah.
Brunson, same thing. Ain't no more
Yeah.
discounts. Like I gotta pay you. So the time
Yeah.
to acquire your outside talent is now.
Especially
It's
when
like
you seeing Jaden McDaniels
right,
and
getting 90 million.
yeah,
No,
what's the guy from Sacramento? The big from
which one?
Sacramento,
Come on, Sabonis.
Sabonis. So you talking about it's all these guys getting $40+ million,
Right, right,
and
right.
Randall out here making 28?
Yeah, he's not signed for no 30 million.
Nah, he ain't.
No, like at minimum, it's gonna be 40. And the thing that has to be understood is if they don't want to pay him, one of his home state teams will. The Rockets will, the Mavericks will, like somebody will, but
Yeah.
a decision needs to be made. And I think that if you look at the Eastern Conference right now, I don't think as as we are right now that we would beat definitely wouldn't beat um, Milwaukee in a 7 game series unless they had injuries. Philly, I'm just not sure there either. Um,
Okay.
Boston, definitely not sure there if both teams are healthy. So now if you add another piece, like you added DeRozan in there, you added Levine in there, you even add to me a Denny in there, somebody that can give you something more
I
than
was
just
gonna say, I'm gonna
defense.
say if
Like,
you add, because I think you can add both. I think you can add DeMar DeRozan and Denny Avdija, right?
yeah,
You can add both,
yeah,
right? And if you add both, I think the Knicks, and I know it's gonna sound like a wild OD stretch, right? But if you add both, and based on all the stuff that you said at the very beginning of the conversation, I think the Knicks can contend for an NBA championship. Not because you
absolutely,
said it,
absolutely,
not because
absolutely.
you said it, but because I'm thinking about all the stuff that you said and taking it into a context. Like, what if DeRozan and RJ can play together? What if Julius Randle can be a point forward? What if Emmanuel quickly does become more consistent? What if adding DeRozan takes better defenders off of Brunson and put them on DeRozan? Now Jalen Brunson is playing against second and third level defenders. That's one of the
Yeah,
things that we have to take into account.
yeah. Those are the layers that people don't look at,
Right.
and those are the layers that are underneath just how many points does he average?
Right.
What's his 3 point percentage? What's his free throw percentage? Like,
Right.
if you're taking a DeRozan and put him on the court with the Brunson, like RJ is gonna see the fourth best defender every game.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that means he has an opportunity to cook every
Right.
game. He has an opportunity to play more minutes with the second unit because you got DeMar to help create and put pressure on the rim with
And
the
now you
first
got
unit
48 minutes of pressure throughout the game.
the whole game. So like it opens the
And
floor, makes it easier.
and the tall, and what teams do is they take their tallest wing defender and put him on Brunson.
You can't do
Now
it.
that tallest wing defender, you have to put that man on DeMar DeRozan.
Yep, yep. Because what's happening to the Knicks right now, and this is why we struggle with certain teams, like unless they have a Drew Holiday who is a point guard, but if we play, say we play like when we played the Spurs, they had Sohan on Brunson. If we play the Pelicans tomorrow, and let's say they have Alvarado starting at point guard, right? He's
Right.
not defending Brunson. They're gonna put Trey Murphy and Herb Jones on Brunson.
Right.
Alvarado's gonna hide on Quentin Grimes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
when you add that playmaker or that difference maker in there that can create, it's no more hiding. It's no more hiding, which gives Brunson an opportunity to cook. Because right now, the best, like you said, the best perimeter defender is gonna be on Brunson. The worst perimeter defender is gonna be on Grimes, and he ain't gonna have to break a sweat. Because
Nope.
even the dude is open, he ain't got to
That
close out.
man gonna
He
be
ain't got to
double
do
teaming Randall, and now Randall gonna be holding the ball, and people are gonna be
it.
like, "Yo, why Randall holding the ball?" It's not because Randall is dumb. It's because Quentin Grimes is not an offensive threat.
And he won't move. You got to move without the basketball, man.
Yeah, and he won't. He no, he ain't doing that, bro. He's scared.
So and that's why I always say the Knicks make things. They make them way harder than they're supposed to be. Like we shouldn't have to isolate for almost every bucket. And it's not a coaching thing because if you look the other night, those weren't called plays. When Josh Howard was cutting to the basket, flashing back to the 3 point line,
Yeah.
like that's you don't call that from the sideline.
Right. Right.
That's moving. That's what they did in over. Cut and move. When you
Right.
get the ball, move it. When you don't have the ball, still move
Right.
without the basketball. But
Right. And
it,
you know
it's
what I learned in playing basketball, bro, is if you have a sweet spot, you don't go to that sweet spot and let the
oh
defense know what
god,
your sweet spot is, bro. You move without the ball, and then you and the ball arrive at the sweet spot at the same time. So the defense is not set. Anytime you try to, bro, you can't just Grimes is put him in that Avdija trade, bro.
I mean, like his money and Evans' money is about 20 mil. So that's a significant amount that would go towards another player. And I'm not trying to say everybody should give up on him. If you still got hope for the kid, more
I ain't
power
got
to
no
you.
hope. I ain't got no hope for him, bro.
I can't defend him anymore.
I ain't got
I
no
think
hope for him, bro.
I can't defend him anymore. Like if you're not willing to shoot open shots,
Yeah.
I can't defend you. I
Right.
I can't even when Randall was slumping, and we said on this show, Randall gonna be fine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because he's missing shots he would normally make. Be fine. Something ain't right.
Right.
So, but with this kid, he's not even taking.
Right.
He's not
Right.
even taking the shots, bro. You got teammates in the middle of games saying, "Shoot the
Shoot
ball."
the ball.
You kick
Everybody
it to me.
screaming at their
Okay.
TV, shoot the ball.
Yeah. I'm
It's
kicking it back
like
to you.
you know what it's like, and I'm not saying it, and this was not being disrespectful to him, right? But it was like watching Jenny telling Forrest Gump to run, right? That's what it's like. Forrest, you just got hit in the face with a rock, and a truck is about 50 feet away from you, about to run you over, and you standing there, bro.
Just
Run,
standing there.
Forrest. Shoot,
Run for us,
Grimes.
man.
Shoot. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
bro,
Shoot the ball.
your position is shooting guard.
Bro, that's in your job description.
And like Scott Perry is he's telling you what he wanted to do with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
pretty much what he is saying is you got to get Grimes up out of that starting lineup.
Yeah. Free deuce.
You need a player, a wing. Like that's not even speaking in code. You need a wing that can push RJ to the 2.
Yeah.
That's saying y'all got to get Grimes up out of the starting lineup. It ain't working.
Right.
Like
Right.
it ain't working.
Right.
So that's why it's so interesting to hear him speak because he's not speaking just. He's not like a Bobby Marks type situation. This dude, when he talks about the Knicks, he's talking about things that he actually wanted to see happen for the Knicks. That's why it's so interesting. But
Right.
he's basically saying the Grimes experiment is over. I brought in Cam Reddish for him. You didn't want to give Cam a shot. I
Right.
feel like Cam could push RJ to the 2. He could have been that wing. Okay,
Right.
y'all dumped him, so y'all got the same problem though.
Right.
You got the same problem. You got to solve it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You got to solve it.
all right, brother. Man. These things go by so fast, bro. I swear.
We're almost an hour.
I swear by the time we do the icebreaker, man, it's over. So anyway, thank y'all everybody for rocking, man, watching the Big Boss Man Roundtable. You know what I'm saying? I'm your main man, the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, Uncle Freezie. And I'm joined by the big boss man who was joined by a little boss man running around somewhere. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, man. So that was Woodshed with all the hot takes. You got anything to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, I said on the first show of the season, I'm gonna give them the 25 games, and then I'm gonna make my prediction on what they need to do.
Right, right.
We almost around the corner, man. But until then, enjoy winning basketball.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to call it like you see it, though.
Call it like you see it, man. Call it like you see it. Don't be afraid. All right, everybody, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for rocking, man. Peace, everybody.